Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
Took 12 innings, but the Angels took game one of the double dip here in Minneapolis. Tonight it is game 3 of this 4-game series, the nightcap of the double dip against the Minnesota Twins. The Angels with the victory in game 1 picked up a half game in the West. Houston is currently in that second wild card spot. They will host the Oakland Athletics. The Angels now a game and a half back of them in the wild card race, tied with the Minnesota Twins. We welcome you inside Target Field and back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas. And in that first game, it was rather interesting as the Angels managed a 4-3 victory, 4 runs, Gooby, without a base hit with a man in scoring position.
Yeah, they manufactured the old school Angel baseball. Take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. Andrew Heaney really set the tone. He had excellent stuff throughout the entire game. Ended up pitching 6+ innings in this game today. Had a great slider. His changeup was very good. Fastball command, solid. But then Minnesota brings up Miguel Sano against Trevor Gott after the walk to Joe Mauer. Hits a 2-run home run to tie it up. But a mistake made by Dozier at second base. Usually very good in that position. And a line drive, contact plays on. You mentioned one of those runs scored on and out. They were able to take the lead. And then Houston Street comes in and gets his 37th save of the season. A pop-up that Cowher was able to catch. Wasn't an easy game. A lot of things happened during the course of that game. But a win is a win at this point. When the first 2 games in this series with an opportunity to win the first 3 against the team you're trying to catch, have now caught the Minnesota Twins, trying to go ahead of them now in that wild card race.
Yeah, the Angels have won 4 of the first 5 meetings this season against the Minnesota Twins, and in game 2 tonight, Garrett Richards is on the mound to face Mike Pelfrey, the guys that were scheduled to start in this second game. We'll talk about that when we return. Angels Baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. By Foster Farms Fresh and Natural, locally grown and no added hormones. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. four-game series, the nightcap of the doubleheader. Garrett Richards on the mound for the Angels. He's coming off a loss against the Dodgers. The numbers overall didn't look pretty, but he had some pretty dominating stuff throughout the game.
Yeah, that fastball was consistently running in there, 95 to 97, 13 wins this season, which ties the career high. Only one win, though, in his last 5 starts. Very good career numbers against the Twins. ERA under 3, 1-1 mark. Batting average against him, though, 154 for Richards. Just work down on that strike zone, get ground ball after ground ball. Just like we talked about with Andrew Heaney, get deep in the game. A number of relievers use once again in Game 1. Look for them to dominate here in Game 2.
So it took 12 innings to take Game 1. The Angels and the Twins are tied for the third spot right now, the wild card. Game and a half back in the Houston Astros. We're just about ready for baseball here in Minneapolis. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Innings in just 4 hours and 15 minutes. They cleared the ballpark. They had about 35 minutes to clear the stadium. Then they reopened the gates at 5 o'clock and ready to go. Good crowd on hand. Halos still wearing those red alternate tops. It's worked so far in the first 2 games of this series. The Twins have gone to the old school look, the cream-colored pinstripe uniforms, and Mike Pelfrey, the Twins, have taken the fields. That means it's time for us to take a look at the starting lineup as presented by the skipper Mike Scioscia. The Halos at 75 and 72 have Eric Ibar leading things off. He's the shortstop. Cole Calhoun at right, Mike Trout at center. Albert back in that lineup. He's the DH. David Murphy at left. David Freese at third base. Chris Iannetta gets the start of the nightcap behind the plate. Efren Navarro sees action over at first base, and Taylor Featherston batting ninth and playing second base. They're taking on a 31-year-old right-hander native of Wichita, Kansas, by the name of Mike Pelfrey.
And Pelfrey fastball, 91 to 95, slider, curveball, and split finger fastball, throwing better velocity on his fastball this season. Last year, averaged around 90, a little over 90 miles per hour on his fastball. This year, 93. But my go-tos to be successful against Pelfrey, let's give up a lot of home runs, so you have to bunch those hits together and don't chase that split finger fastball out of the strike zone.
Defensively for the Twins in Game 2, it's Rosario, Buxton, and Hunter in the outfield from left to right. Plouffe, Nunez, Dozier, and Maurer from third to first, and Herman behind the plate.
Torrey Hunter out in right field, 9-time Gold Glove winner, 2 with the Angels. Only 6 outfielders have ever won more Gold Gloves than Torrey Hunter. He had a good throw in that Game 1, and a great slide by Featherston, scored on that sac fly by Mike Trout.
Pelfrey is making his 28th start of the season. The Angels did face him back in July at the Big A, and they knocked him around a little bit. He gave up 10 hits in his 5 innings of work. Good numbers against him, and he's a guy that's not really an overpowering guy. 77 strikeouts, 43 walks, and 152 innings of work.
And he's going to give up a share of hits. 177. You mentioned that batting average, right? Righties at 296, lefties 298, so rated 297 as far as batting average against Pelfrey. Another one of those tall pitchers for the Twins.
First one in game 2, a little looper out to left, and that'll get down for a base hit. So Eric Ibar starts off the game, first pitch of the game, with a single to left.
Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful. The little sticks. Mr. Roboto just got to be like a machine today. Methodically get your base hits, bunch them together, pitch well, and defend well, and somehow find a way to be able to sweep this doubleheader.
Domo arigato. It's Cole Calhoun steps to the plate.
I was always going to do a little nature boy Ric Flair for that little flair, but Eric Ibar. Remember, we heard that on Thursday here at the ballpark.
Yeah, Kilroy was here. Ibar was the leadoff man in Thursday's game. Ended up going 1 for 6 in that one. In game 1 of this double dip, ended up going to 1 for 5. 69 degrees at first pitch. Beautiful night for baseball. Some clouds up above, but no threat of rain. Eric with a big lead over at first. Cole lifts one down the left field line. Rosario, long run over, and will run out of room, or did he get it? Nope, ran out of room. Valiant effort. Kind of drifted with that, didn't he? He's got decent speed.
Yeah, he thought he was going to get there initially, then the ball just kept going away from him. And a lot of times you try to get to the wall quicker. As he reaches up, Fenn, nice play with his glove. Again, that baseball is in the stands at that point. We've seen some aggressive first pitch swinging against Pelfrey. Hitters hitting .405 against him this year, jumping on that first pitch and putting it in play.
Quick throw to first. He's thrown the ball well at home this year. 4-3 with a 2.35 ERA compared to the 2-6 5.85 ERA out on the road. 5 starts in his career against the Angels, 3-2. ERA just below 4. One ball, one strike. Ibar with a single to lead off the game on the very first pitch. Cole ended up going 0 for 5 in game 1. Had 3 strikeouts and then picked up an RBI in the 12th inning. That liner off the glove of Escobar. That easily could have been turned into an inning-ending double play had he caught the baseball, because with Robertson and Iannetta were way off the bag.
Scored that winning run that inning without getting a hit.
Yeah. Dozier committed the error on Robertson's ground ball to start off that inning.
Still pretty amazing, getting 4 runs, 3 on outs and another on a fielder's choice to score the 4 runs to win that game 4-3.
Pedals went 0 for 9 with men in scoring position in game 1. Cole shoots one foul into the seats. A little bigger crowd as expected. This is the scheduled time for this game. Not a bad crowd for a non-scheduled noon start here with college football going on. They're still fouling in. Throw, and that hits Ibar. If it doesn't hit Eric, it's rattling up against the wall.
Try to be quick on the throw over. And that's definitely going to be by him if it doesn't hit Eric Ibar. Pelfrey is 1 pickoff this year, has allowed 8 stolen base in 9 attempts.
So it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Trout on deck. Just underway. Cole hits one over to third. Plouffe has it. Beats Dozier for one. The relay back to first. Another play. 2 outs. Brings up Trout. Mike hitting .292, 38 home runs, 84 runs batted in. 0 for 4 in game 1. Did have a sac fly. Picked up an intentional walk. Looks at ball 1. Pelfrey started his major league career with the Mets back in 2006. He was a first-round pick of the Mets out of Wichita State. Delivers a strike. A fastball at 94. A Tommy John surgery in 2012 last year. Look at his elbows scope. Made just 5 starts for the Twins. On the outside corner, 1-2. This year a 6-9 record coming into the start. Ground ball to the right side. Mauer gloves that one with the diving stop. 3rd out of the inning. Heck of a play by the Twins first baseman. Well, into the bottom of the first, scoreless. He mixed it up a little bit. Brian Dozier will lead things off at second base. Joe Mauer at first. Miguel Sano, the DH. Trevor Plouffe at third. Torrey Hunter in right field. Then you've got Eddie Rosario at left. So he moved all of those guys just up one spot in the order. Eduardo Nunez is the shortstop. Chris Herman, the catcher. Byron Buxton will round out that starting 9. Gets to start in center field. Taking on Garrett Richards. 13-game winner to 3.81 ERA.
Yeah, still looking for that career high as far as W's in the season. Mentioned 13-game winner. My go-tos for Richards to be successful is continue to get those ground ball outs. 50% of the baseballs put in play against him are on the ground. That's the 3rd highest percentage in the American League. Only Dallas Keuchel and Felix Hernandez with better as far as percentage of ground balls out against him.
One of those games that you need him to step up. Try to take the nightcap. Sweep a double dip. Dozier takes upstairs. Second baseman hitting .237. 27 home runs, 70 runs batted in. 1 for 5 game with a double in the first game of this doubleheader. 36 doubles on the year. Two balls, no strikes. Doug Eddings, by the way, calling the balls and strikes in game 2. Adrian Johnson at first, Mark Wegner at second, and Stu Shoewater at third. Bill Miller gets the night off as Richards falls behind here 3-0. Garrett in that last start against the Dodgers took the loss. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs all earned, 6 strikeouts, issued 4 walks. The walks have kind of snuck up all of a sudden. 12 walks in his last 3 starts.
And that's something he hasn't done a whole lot in the last couple of years.
Dozier fouls this one back. Man, that ball got up here in a hurry. That ball got up into this level.
Yes.
In a hurry.
And it hit off the back wall and made its way back down below us.
Dozier skies one on the third base side. Frees an Ibar over and run out of room.
Or jumping up on the tarp. It's good to see he's got the energy working here in game 2.
Payoff pitch. Dozier strikes out, swinging. Nice block by Chris Iannetta. And there's out number 1.
That wasn't fully committed to swing on that hard slider to get a swing and miss.
Check out the Angels defensively tonight. David Murphy at left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right, David Freese and Eric Ibar on the left side, Taylor Featherson and Efren Navarro on the right side. Chris Iannetta behind the plate.
And Navarro getting his 8th start at first base this year. He had 12 in that spot last year. First start first base since July 1st. But with Richards on the mound, should get a lot of activity as far as ground balls his way and him through the rest of the infield.
First one to Mauer, in for a strike. Twins first baseman made a heck of a diving stop on that Trout grounder to end the top of the first inning. 267 average, 8 home runs, 62 runs batted in. Hitless in the first game, went 0 for 4 with a walk. That was Andrew Heaney's last batter. The ball is 2 strikes. That ball that Trout hit with 2 strikes. He's behind him.
And that's by him at the very end of his glove. That 6'5" body to make that play.
Breaking ball, called strike 3 on the outside corner, 2 down.
Well, 2 of those pitches in that sequence against Mauer were borderline. Backdoor curveball. It's good to see Richards utilizing that curveball earlier in the game. A lot of times we'll throw his slider. That's a good off-speed pitch. We talked about the necessity for Richards to start using something off-speed.
Mauer didn't like the call. It seemed to be just a little bit off the plate as Sano takes a breaking ball for a strike. Sano homered in game 1, his 17th of the year, 2 runs shot, now with 49 runs batted in, 279 batting average. And the rookie takes low. Garrett did face the Twins on July 23rd. That one's in the dirt. In that start, he ended up taking the loss. 8 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. Sano went around.
Well, his slider is awfully sharp already. 89 to 91 range in this first inning for Richards.
Two. Check swing on the breaking ball, full count.
Try to get him to chase the curveball. That one at 81.
And he walked him. 2-out walk puts a man on for Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe, the third baseman, hitting .250, 20 home runs, 80 runs batted in. One for 4 game, extended his hitting streak to 9 games. Fouls that first one back. They're underway in Houston. Astros hosting the Athletics. Kazmir and Sonny Gray. He's had the bases loaded in the first with a couple of outs. Texas and Seattle will get started about 7 o'clock Central Time. 0-1 down. 0-2. Oh, 2 to Plouffe. Ball bouncing way out in front of the plate. Nice job by Chris.
Anticipating that slider being in the dirt. His body squared up very well. This is well in front of the plate. That chest protector.
I mentioned having not picked up a win in his last 5 starts, or just 1 win in his last 5 starts. That was on the 4th of September against Texas. Just 2 wins since August the 8th. Two to 2.
Remember that game earlier back at the Big A when Plouffe got a slider. It was elevated against him. That might have been a first pitch slider. Good fastball away at 96, 97. Should do the trick.
Jams him, fouls it back. And at times, because he tends to overthrow that slider, gets the pitch count up. He's at 21 pitches now.
Yeah, it looked like he had a chance to have a quick inning the first inning.
Even with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, Mauer on 3 pitches.
Sano over at first base. 2-2 again. Broken bat roller to first. That barrel ends up in the stands. Wow. And I don't think it got anybody. Went down the steps, it looked like.
Wow, I've never seen a baseball bat go flying like that.
We'll head to the second with no score. faced Mike Pelfrey. Gave a leadoff single to Ibar, then induced a double play off the bat of Calhoun, and then Trout grounded out. Albert 0 for 4 in game 1. Couple of walks. Career high 0 for 24 string right now. Fouls this one off. Let's go back and see the broken bat that Plouffe had and where that barrel ended up. As a right-handed batter, it's almost impossible to break a bat. The barrel end up behind you and into the seats, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
He just has that handle left in his hands and the barrel way up over his shoulder.
Landed right on the concrete steps. Nobody was hurt. That's a good thing. Albert lifts one out toward right center field. Buxton moves back, puts it away for the first out. David Murphy at 287, 10 home runs and 43 runs batted in. He was the leadoff man for the Angels in game 1. And a 1 for 4 game with a double and an RBI. Takes a strike. 17 doubles now for Murph. Back at it left. Murphy 0 for 7 in his career against Pelfrey.
Pelfrey has that good split finger fastball.
Guy that has the most experience against Pelfrey's on the bench, Shane Victorino. Of course, the Mets and Phillies battling in the National League East. Shane 16 for 50 in his career against Pelfrey. Murphy skies this one on the third base side and headed toward the seats.
Batting left-handed at that point. Now it's batting right-handed only.
Albert next up with now 18 at-bats. Connor Gillespie. Chris Iannetta. Chris 6 for 13 in his career against Pelfrey. Murphy lines with the left field, coming in and diving for it is Rosario. Nice play by the left fielder. 2 outs.
Yeah, you have to commit to making that play right away, and he did so. Otherwise, that ball is going to be falling right in front of him. Solid play by Rosario. We talked about his arm strength. Good read on this one. Sliding in and making a nice play on that line drive by David Murphy. Track that one all the way in just before it hits the outfield grass. Gets by him. That's a double. Easy double.
2 outs, nobody on for Freeze. David had a 1 for 2 game with a single and a walk. 258 average. 11 home runs, 48 RBIs. Last start for Pelfrey was at Kansas City. Gave up a run on 5 hits, working 5 1/3. No decision for him.
You see he's telling himself to keep the ball down. Much more hittable when his fastball is upstairs in the strike zone.
Little dribbler, third base side. Plouffe comes in, bare hands and throws to first. Not going to get David. Midfield base hit with 2 outs. Give Iannetta an opportunity to bat here.
Plouffe playing back, especially with 2 strikes. Pitch upstairs, a slow roller. Nice play by Plouffe, but unable to get Freeze, who's going down the line quickly to pick up another hit.
Chris hitting 185, 9 home runs, 32 runs batted in. He had 1 plate appearance, and that was in the 12th inning. Worked a walk. Mike Bourne picked up the win in relief, his 3rd victory of the season. His streak notched the save.
And ended with a home run in his career versus Pelfrey. Got it on July 22nd this year. I think Mike Bourne now picking up 2 wins in his first 2 games of the series. Born in Minnesota before being raised in the Kansas City area.
Vulture.
Good positioning.
Yeah, exactly. Credited with the win on Thursday, going inning and a third. One ball, 2 strikes. Pelfrey with that grip before going into the glove.
It's always easy to close your fingers when you bring that baseball in the glove. Most guys who throw a split finger fastball will start that way and then close the fingers if you're going to throw a fastball. That way you're not tipping a pitch to a hitter.
The 1-2. Fouled back. Back to the fastball.
He was on that one.
David Freese with a 2-out infield base hit, standing at first base. Herman set up inside. This one foul back.
So foul balls up in our neck of the woods here.
General vicinity.
Yes.
Now Herman set up outside. Way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's threw 9 pitches in the first inning. Now up to 27. So 18 pitches in this inning.
Two off the plate. Full count. Freese will get a head start from first. His fastball at 94.
Mentioned that increased velocity, another year away from surgery on that elbow for Pelfrey. Averaged a little less than 91 miles per hour last year. Now this year a little over 93.
Opponents have hit 297 against Pelfrey this year. Lefties 298, righties 296. Freese takes off. 3-2 is popped up to shallow right. Torrey comes racing in. Dozier going out, and it's Torrey making the catch. The Angels are down here in the second. Over the bottom of the inning, still with no score.
splits. The Angels haven't been swept in doubleheaders since August 9th of 03 at Cleveland. Opportunity to be able to have 5 sweeps and then have 5 splits with a win here tonight.
Torrey Hunter, Eddie Rosario, and Eduardo Nunez to face Garrett Richards. First one upstairs. A couple of strikeouts and a walk for Garrett in the first. Two and 0. The A's left him loaded in the top of the first inning. The Astros have come back and scored 3 in the bottom of the first against Sonny Gray. And still batting. Three balls, 1 strike. Leadoff walk to start the second.
Torrey looking away. His fastball runs up and in. Oh, Torrey. He's just thankful that ball did not hit him.
Had to take off his shin guard anyway. Rosario, the left fielder, now up. 0-1. Rosario hitting .271, 10 home runs and 42 runs batted in. 1 for 4 game. The opening game of this doubleheader. It was a triple at the left center field. His 14th triple of the year. Leads the American League. He pulls this one to right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Torrey will stop at second. So lead off walk and a single. Puts 2 men on to start the second.
Base runners in this game so far for Richards. 1 in the first, now 2 here already in the second. Use one of those ground ball double plays. Very good at getting.
Eduardo Nunez seeing action for the first time in this series. Steps up. He's the shortstop tonight. .269 batting average, 4 home runs, 19 runs batted in. 1 sacrifice this year. Shows bunt, bunts it back toward the mound. Richards has it, fires to first, and they get the out at first base. Nice play by Garrett.
The only play would be for Richards to field that ball. Looked like initially Iannetta was going to try to take that one. Well played though by Richards. Stays down in an athletic position as an infielder, staying low. Better chance of a quality throw, and he did. That's the key as a pitcher, staying low on your throw. It's an athletic position. Solid job by Richards.
Second and third, 1 out. Chris Herman, the catcher at the plate. 153 average, infield playing back for the Angels. Herman hits a bouncer back to them. Knocked down by Richards. They've got a run down here with Torrey. Gives it to Chris Iannetta. They tag him out, 2 down. And that was courtesy of Rosario running Torrey off the base.
Anticipating that baseball going back up the middle. And we'll keep that in front of him. Some pretty good plays here for Richards in this game. Rosario going, at that point you can't go back. You're Torrey Hunter. An easy tag by Iannetta on Hunter at the plate.
Checking on Garrett, see where that ball hit.
I don't know if that ball got him in his throwing hand or the glove hand. Judging from he's going to take a couple throws, it must have got him in his throwing hand. He tried to turn to avoid contact. Yeah, it looked like the way he's moving his hand, it got him on his throwing hand. Right back up the middle. His thumb, then off his body. Recovered to make the play at the plate, though.
Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Byron Buxton, the batter. Buxton hitting 235 games. Pitch ran in game 1. 6 doubles, a triple, 2 runs batted in for Buxton. Shows bunt. 2 outs. He takes down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Buxton shoots one out to center. Not very deep. Trout has to come in on it. That's the 3rd out of the inning. 2 complete here. Target field ahead of the 3rd, but no score. Join us Friday. It's Oktoberfest. Halos taking on the Mariners at 7:05. So looking forward to the boot mug that's being given away courtesy of Shock Top. And of course, that's while supplies last. Get your tickets today at the stadium box office or online.
Looking forward to that one.
Probably better off getting them online over the weekend. Don't believe there's anybody at the box office right now. 8-9-1 for the Angels here. Navarro, Featherston, and Ibar against Mike Pelfrey. No strikeouts, no walks, 2 singles allowed. Effort hitting .256, 4 doubles, 5 runs batted in. 46th game for him. Good sinking action on that pitch. 1-1. Broke his bat.
After the inning, Garrett Richards went up to Adam Nevlin, showed exactly where he got hit. More so on the forearm area. Hit the arm and then off his body, kept it in front. He did a nice play on that bunt play.
Yeah.
Again, staying down in that low athletic position, much easier throw than fielding it standing straight up and then try to get back and throw to first base.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Back up the middle. Dozier to his right. Can't come up with it. Went into that slide. And it looked like once he hit the ground, kind of slowed up.
So a single slide and then pop up if he feels it. Yeah, I think you're going to have to do this for, it's a base hit there for Navarro, for Mike Scioscia against Pelfrey. Because he gets so many ground balls, he's already induced hitters that grounded in 28 double plays this year. You're going to have guys on the move. Doesn't give up many home runs, as 10 this entire season. So most times you got a bunch hits together, but you got to have guys moving also.
Featherston takes ball 1.
Here's the thing about Taylor when he goes to bunt. He just has the one hand initially on the bat and then brings the other hand, his left hand, back on the bat to control it.
Taylor hitting .173, a couple of home runs, 9 runs batted in. Ended up going 1 for 1 with a single, a hit by pitch, and a sac bunt in game 1.
As you watch as he squares around to bunt, he'll move that left hand off the bat and then square around. Now he's keeping it on the bat that time.
2 balls, no strikes. And like you said, that left hand's moving. When it's on there, it's not steady. It's kind of moving along the bottom part of the bat. That's the hand that controls
exactly
the bat.
Exactly right. That's why it's been a difficult task for him to get those bunts down. Even that bunt in game 1 right down the line, if Joe Mauer lets that roll, there's a good chance of being a foul ball.
2-0 count, not bunting, and it's 3-0.
See Featherston take 1, maybe even 2 pitches.
Top of the order, Eric Ibar on deck. Efren with a leadoff single to start the 3rd. 3-1.
Unless he gets another pitch right in that zone, then you got to let it go. Otherwise, a borderline pitch forced him to throw another fastball in the zone at 3-2.
Chops this one toward short. Save for first.
Made me look at that one. Again, another potential double play. That would be if they had turned that to 29th behind Pelfrey. Quick turn. Real close. See if the foot is down before the baseball is in the glove.
Safe.
Safe on that one. But still, as you can see, Pelfrey's getting ground ball after ground ball.
Ibar 1 for 1 with the base hit.
This passed Howie Kendrick on the all-time hit list for the Angels with that hit. Those two together for such a long period of time at short and second.
Howie just activated last night the Dodgers.
I think he's in the starting lineup today.
Featherston with a big lead as usual, as Eric takes ball 1.
And when you're facing a pitcher that's down in the strike zone, whether it's his fastball or split finger fastball, even his slider, you have to have guys on the move. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of ground ball double plays.
Middle infielders playing in a couple of steps. Both Nunez at short, Dozier at second.
A lot of times you'll see that from middle infielder, especially with a guy who's a sinker ball pitcher, and you got thicker grass in the infield. The baseball doesn't get to you as quick, so you can afford to play a little bit closer in, an easier chance to turn a double play.
Ibar pushes the bunt foul. One ball, one strike. No score here in the third. Houston, it's 3-1 Astros in the top of the second. Jake Smolinski with a home run against Scott Kazmir. Texas will host Seattle tonight. Bouncer towards second. Dozier flips it to Nunez. No play. And again, the Angels aren't running. Unable to create anything. All they keep doing is taking each other's place at first. 2 outs.
Especially when you consider how you scored all 4 runs in the first game. 3 on outs and 1 on the fielder's choice. The contact play worked well twice. Mike Scioscia worked a good hit and run with David Murphy, who went right down the third base line also.
Ibar reaching on the fielder's choice now. 2 outs. Calhoun at the plate. Rolled into a double play in the first inning. Pelfrey about to throw his 44th pitch. Time is called. Not as quick a worker as Kyle Gibson in game 1. A little bit more deliberate.
Very similar pitchers, though, as far as fastballs down. Gibson with a changeup. Pelfrey with a split finger fastball.
Two balls, no strikes on Cole. Cole lifts one out to left. Rosario underneath it. Head to the bottom of the third, scoreless.
West data, strong fan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming Angel broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Top of the order coming up for the Twins here in the third. Dozier, Mauer, and Sano. Garrett with a couple of strikeouts, 2 walks, and 1 hit allowed. Dozier struck out in the first inning. Garrett could use a quick inning. No balls, 2 strikes.
Couple of sliders, first 2 pitches.
Takes down and in. Certainly been an interesting season for Garrett. Good to have him back. Full season. This being his 29th start. 2 balls, 2 strikes. At times he has not been able to kind of repeat like he did last year, the consistency that he had last season.
Especially with the feel for his fastball, whether inside, outside, mainly down in the strike zone. But still a solid bounce back season after that injury last year in Fenway Park.
Got ahead at 0-2, and now it's a full count. This one into the shift. Featherston is there. 1 down.
With Joe Mauer coming to the plate. Look at the list as far as Twins AL batting champs. Tony Leva 3 times. Rod Carew, the Hall of Famer. 7 titles in 10 years with the Twins. Kirby Puckett, Joe Mauer, 3-time AL batting champ. Very impressive when you consider catcher.
A great Tony Oliva. There he is.
He's the best.
There he is.
And a quick conversation with him earlier today. Always a smile on his face.
Mauer looks at strike one. Mauer struck out looking in the first. Hits this one is short. You can see even that ball that Mauer hit, that first hop in the grass checks the ball. That's talking about Dozier and Nunez playing in. Does slow it up considerably.
Remember times when Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker used to do that at old Tiger stadiums. That was some thick grass. You see right there the way the baseball will slow down.
Wrigley Field notorious for tall, thick grass.
They tried that a little bit in Arlington. Went away with that. Now back to that putting green they have as an infield.
That was a hybrid grass that they ended up growing down there. Couldn't maintain it throughout the summer, though. Ground ball back to the mound. Rolls right up the arm, and there's that quick inning we were talking about. A 1-2-3 third. We'll head to the fourth. Trout to lead things off for the Angels with no score. Scoreless into the 6th inning. Angels scored twice in that one. Minnesota got one back and ended up being a tie game till the 12th. The Angels got an unearned run in the 12th. Take game 1 of the doubleheader, 4-3. Angels have won the first 2 games in the series. Trout swings the first pitch breaking ball. 0-1 count. Mike. Robbed by Mauer on a terrific defensive play in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Ground ball to second. 1 out. September 25th, the Angels will host Oktoberfest. It's the Gate 1 Music Garden. You'll get German music, dancing, beer tasting from a variety of breweries. Get your tickets online or during the week over at the box office. Angels have 1 homestand left, 3 against Seattle, 3 against Oakland. That homestand will kick off next Friday. Albert 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center.
So far in this game, Pelfrey's gotten 6 outs via the ground ball and 4 fly ball outs.
Albert hit a fly ball to center field, towards right center field. Leading off the second. Grounds this one, and that'll beat the shift. So Albert snaps an 0 for 25. So he's on board for David Murphy. Albert wants the baseball.
It looked like a split-finger fastball.
Pelfrey looked at him like, what? And then Pelfrey throws it over the dugout. Pelfrey was just staring at him like, are you serious? And he's still looking at him. Are you kidding me? Longest 0 of Albert's career. 0 for 25. Murphy lined one out the left his first time up. Takes a strike.
He's like, okay, you want to save the baseball? Oh, okay.
There you go.
There you go. Put as much dirt on that baseball as possible as I roll that one in.
I thought Albert was on the move there. I thought he was deking at first base.
Setting him up again.
Yeah.
Does have 4 stolen bases. Over 100 now in his career. Told us he was shutting it down when he got to 100, but that's not been the case.
On the outside corner. 1-2. One-two pitch. Murphy fouls it back. One-two pitch. Murphy fouls it back again. Just underway in Texas, Seattle and the Rangers. Vidal Nuno against Cole Hamels in that one. Cleveland and the White Sox tied at 1. That game's in the top of the 5th inning. At the start of the day, the Indians a game behind the Angels. Good battle here between these two. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. David Freese on deck. Albert has to dive back in. That's what you get for making Pelfrey throw his baseball away.
And trying to sneak out and get a bigger lead, a smile again. He was moving out as if he might think about trying to go.
Get the old Torrey Hunter walking stolen base attempt.
Yes, indeed.
2-2. Off the plate. Full count. Albert takes off. The 3-2's popped up. Murphy chase what may have been ball 4. Now we're back to first. 2 outs.
Pretty good at bat by Murphy against Pelfrey. They saw a lot of pitches.
Freeze an infield base hit his first time up.
Herman's done a nice job behind the plate. He's thrown out at 40% of would-be base stealers. Nice job blocking that hard slider.
See Pelfrey talking to himself.
Yeah, he's an ultra competitive guy. Told himself, let's go. Long at bat against Murphy, now behind the count here.
Three balls, no strikes.
I'd like to see Freeze take a hack here, 3-0. If he gets a fastball, he can hit hard, maybe to right center field.
No score. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Albert takes off. The pitch is a strike to throw down in time. Not sure why Albert's going there. Touch on a 3-1 count to Freeze. That'll do it for the Angels. We're at the bottom of the 4th. Scoreless. Postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama history. It all begins October the 8th on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's a look at the standings across Major League Baseball, at least the American League anyway. The wild card is of interest to the Angels as well as the West. The other stuff is just kind of eyewash. Angels a game and a half back of the Houston Astros for that second wild card spot, 4 back of the Texas Rangers. Texas and Seattle scoreless. The game is in the bottom of the 1st inning. Houston leading Oakland 3-1. That game's in the bottom of the 3rd.
Cleveland tied at 1. The White Sox in the 5th inning.
Garrett had himself his first 1-2-3 inning. He'll face Plouffe, Hunter, and Rosario here in the 4th inning. First one misses inside. Plouffe grounded out, broke his bat in the 1st inning. 0 for 1. He skies this one to center. One down. Beautiful setting that is Target Field.
Cool skies right now over left field.
Torrey looks at his strike.
Different colors of the clouds up there now.
Oh, nice catch down there in the first section of seats. Lower level. Ricochet from the upper deck.
Turned into a pretty big crowd here tonight.
Yep. Saturday night. Beautiful night. Why not come out for a ball game? Twins have had a very good, surprising season. 3 games over 500 with the loss, the first 2 losses of the series.
Now the Angels and Twins tied in that battle with Houston for the final wild card spot.
Torrey goes down swinging as Richards tied him up. 2 down. 3rd strikeout for Garrett.
Yeah, he remembers that fastball that last time up when he walked up and in. Now he came back inside with another fastball on him. This time stayed on top of that one well, but running actually tried to bring his hands in but could not do so at 95.
Rosario had a base hit in the 2nd inning. Taylor's with 4 hits, the Twins with 1. Now toward left. Murphy, a long run. That ball slicing away from him. Gets there, makes the catch. And that's 7 in a row. Retired by Garrett Richards. 4 in the books, still scoreless.
At 31 highway miles per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT&T Uverse. More live channels on the go than cable.
And by Subaru. Test drive the all-new 2015 Subaru Forester or go to Subaru.com to learn more.
No score. Top of the 5th inning. Garrett seems to have settled down over the last couple of frames. David Freese will come to the plate to lead things off. David was at the plate when Albert inexplicably tried to steal second. I think the most stunned person was David Freese in the batter's box.
Yeah, because he knows he's going to get a good fastball on a 3-1 count.
One ball and strike. And at that point, Pelfrey struggled against Freese.
Yeah.
Fell behind 3-0.
3 high pitches in a row. And again, we talked about you need to move runners at certain times, but not Albert with 2 outs and you got a 3-0 count to Freese.
Not Albert ever in the right situation. If other guys aren't going, the last guy that should be would be Albert, especially with a hurt foot. Nine head on deck. 2-1. That's rocketed foul. Count evens up at 2-2. Marcus Semien is homered against Scott Kazmir, so it's 3-2. Houston leading Oakland.
Looks like Sonny Gray starting to settle in for Oakland in that game.
Called strike 3. Got the outside corner. David doesn't like it, but it did catch the corner. One out. First strike of the night for Pelfrey.
It's not exactly where Herman was setting up. He was setting up in. He has to reach back. But according to our Fox tracks, gets quite a bit of that outside corner.
Texas scored a run in the bottom of the first. Seattle has answered in the top of the second. Franklin Gutierrez homering off of Cole Hamels. It's a 1-1 game in the second inning down in Arlington.
What a great story is for Gutierrez to be able to have that kind of bounce back year.
Signed a minor league deal with Seattle in the offseason as Chris looks at a strike. That would, if I'm not mistaken, make him available, right? He's got more than enough big league time where that's just a 1-year deal. It's overcome so much. Watch out.
That looked like got him in the hand.
That's nice of Pelfrey to walk down and make sure Chris is all right.
Yeah, there's no worse feeling, especially when you're a sinker ball pitcher and you drop your elbow and you have no idea how to control that fastball. And that's exactly what happened for Pelfrey. Drops his elbow and that fastball's running in against the hand, wrist area. Left hand.
I can hope for there is that it gets the meaty part of that left hand, not the wrist.
We see that reaction by a number of guys in the dugout, including Don Baylor, who knows a thing or two about getting hit with a pitch.
Yes, he does. I don't think Don ever felt any of those pitches hitting him, though.
No. See, they're trying to turn, but he really didn't get himself in position to necessarily turn, but right on the wrist.
Man on, 1 out. After Navarro at the plate. Base hit his first time up. It's Groove.
Don Baylor can make you feel real bad about your fastball. We hit him in Kansas City 3 straight days, and I happened to be the 3rd day, and he didn't even flinch. And I thought I had maybe had a decent fastball. He just kind of walked down the line, didn't even move.
They flip it back to you.
I'm glad he didn't do that much. Yes.
The hitter picks it up and flips it back to the pitcher.
Better luck next time.
Seen a couple of guys get hit by a pitcher. They, somehow just. They catch it, it sticks, by the elbow and the rib cage. That makes you feel real good, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Angels have yet to get a man to second base. Hit and run is on. Little dribbler foul.
Still like that decision for Soch
right there to make sure you have someone on the move. Mentioned how many ground ball double plays Pelfrey has got turned behind him this year, 28 of them.
Down one today, almost got two. Featherston able to leg it out for fielder's choice.
It's amazing to see 156 plus innings pitched, 28 double plays turned behind him.
And then Ibar, by the way, grounded one to short too. It was slowly hit, so Eric reached on a fielder's choice. Quick throw to first, and Chris is back. Back toward the middle. Dozier knocks it down, flips it to Nunez over the first, and there's that double play we were talking about. Way to the bottom of the inning, still with no score. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. No score, bottom of the fifth inning. Nunez, Herman, and Buxton. 7, 8, 9 for the Minnesota Twins. Garrett Richards has retired 7 straight. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 hit allowed. That was a single to Rosario in the second inning. Nugent had a sack bunt in the second, so no official AB for him. 0-1 count. To the right side, Featherston has it. 1 down.
Boy, Taylor's really starting to play some solid defense at second base. Showing some good range. We know how strong that throwing arm is.
reach on a fielder's choice in the second innings. He's 0 for 1. This one pulled sharply to Navarro. He got it. 2 down.
He is an excellent fielding first baseman, 3-time minor league defensive first baseman of the year in the Angel organization. Navarro, excellent play. Line drive almost by him. It's an excellent play.
Two outs, nobody on, and here's Byron Buxton. Fly ball to center, his first time up. A's have tied it up in the 4th inning. It's 3-3. He's got Kazmir, who 3 2/3 has thrown 83 pitches. He got out of that bases loaded situation the first.
It's a long conversation with the catcher. They were just looking up at that one. He might be out of the game now.
Yeah. Buxton takes upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. That's it. He's going to be yanked out of this game. Top of the 4th. There's a strike.
Well, this is going to be a lot of fun this last couple of weeks of the season, especially in the American League.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Buxton. And another 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Richards. 5 in the books, still scoreless.
Been throwing the ball well, different varieties though. Pelfrey, a ground ball machine. He's already got 2 double plays turned behind him in this game, giving up 29 on the season. Well, Richards, very dominant himself. Great velocity on his fastball. His slider at 91 gets Dozier. Backdoor curveball gets Mauer, and then a fastball inside ties up and gets a swing and miss for Torrey Hunter.
9-1-2 here in the 6th inning for the Angels. Featherston, Ibarn, Calhoun. Garrett has settled down nicely. 4 punch outs and 2 walks. Taylor reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. He's 0 for 1. chopper left side. Plouffe has it. Wow. Fans, the last Saturday night spectacular of the season takes place. Guess when, Gooby?
Is it possibly on Saturday?
It is on next Saturday. That's right. Angels taking on the Mariners at 6:05. Enjoy Angels baseball. Then a spectacular postgame fireworks show presented by Wells Fargo. Get your tickets now. 1 out. Nobody on for Eric Ibar. Trying to bunt once again, bunts it foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Texas has scored twice at the bottom of the second. They lead it 3-1. Here, no score. A lot of goose eggs on the board. Two balls, 2 strikes. Calhoun on deck.
Split finger fastball from Pelfrey. Ibar able to foul off.
Seven to 9 pitches thrown by Pelfrey so far. 1 strikeout, no walks, and 4 singles allowed.
Pitches thrown for Pelfrey, 49 in the strike zone, 31 out. That's a heavy sink on his fastball and split finger fastball.
This one flipped to the left side and a base hit. Disheartening for a pitcher, isn't it?
No question.
You make a great pitch.
A perfect pitch.
He did that in game 1 too.
Yeah, that's a split finger fastball that's running away. And you think you made the perfect pitch. You're just happy to get a hitter to swing at that pitch. And he flicks it into left field.
Ibar's on board for Calhoun. He's 0 for 2. A double play ball in the first, a fly ball to left in the third. The Angels with 5 singles tonight. Still with no one reaching second base as of yet.
Pelfrey sensing the Angels are going to try something as far as a hit and run. So to get 2 double plays turned behind them, nearly 4 in this game.
Cole pulls one through the right side. There's a base hit. Ibar is going to test Torrey. The throw to third is not in time. The throw on the home plate side of the bag. And the Angels have runners at the corners with 1 out.
And he went and slid to that back part of the base to avoid a tag. Challenging Torrey. Strong throw, but you're right, just up that third base side. And then to slide in on the base and stayed connected with his foot on that base all the way through.
Torrey with Cole at the play was playing just a little bit deeper. Trout has grounded out twice, and both times to the right side of the infield. Bauer making a terrific play the first, the other to Dozier, the second baseman. And that is lined to short. 2 outs. Could not have squared up a baseball any more than that.
Aggressive on the first pitch. Good swing for Trout. A fastball down just a little bit above the knees, and he crushed it right at him. Nunez didn't have to move.
So 2 outs, runners remain at the corners. Angels still without a hit today. The entire day for the man in scoring position. Albert, a base hit his last time up, snapping 0 for 25. Action now the Twins pen. 83 pitches now for Pelfrey. 52 strikes.
And you try to keep around that 90-95 range this year as much as possible.
And Albert lines one to the alley in left center field. That'll go to the wall. 1 run is in. Cole racing to third. He's being waved in. Rosario gets the ball in to Nunez. Throw to the plate, not in time. It's a 2 RBI double for Albert Pujols. And the Angels strike first. It's 2-0 Halos.
Good to see Albert coming through, giving him now 85 RBI, his 19th double. His pitch upstairs, that sinker did not work down in the strike zone, and Albert squared that one up. Boy, we talked about that quite a bit on the pregame show in Game 1 today. Should you rest Pujols? Especially thought maybe in Game 2, but you know he's just that one swing away from feeling good again. Now he's got a base hit, backed it up with a 2-run double. That's why he's in there.
Double for Albert, his 19th of the year. Murphy takes outside. First extra base hit. It's the one he had against the Astros, the double down the left field line. Murphy shoots one out towards center field, not very deep. Nunez going out, not going to get there. It'll fall in. Albert chugging around third, will come in to score. 3-0 Halos. Murphy picks up his 44th run batted in.
A well-placed little flare in the outfield for David Murphy. Jams him, and he flares that one into the outfield. Nothing Nunez can do on that one. Is well placed. And Albert scooting around third, scores the 3rd run of the game for the Halos in this inning.
David Freese 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Neil Kotz, a lefty. Blaine Boyd, the righty for Minnesota in their bullpen. Freeze lines one out toward right field. Torrey moving back on it, has a beat, puts it away. That's the third out of the inning. But the Angels with 2 outs strike for 3 runs will head to the bottom of the 6th. 3-0 Angels.
Trucks. Albert Pujols back in the 4th inning gets a ground ball single. Hit number 2649. He wants Pelfrey to throw that baseball in. He's joking around and smiling. Pelfrey throws that baseball away to keep as a souvenir for Albert Pujols to break that hitless streak. Ends up getting a big double, driving in 2. His next at bat scored a run also. You see Albert smiling after that 0 for 25 streak. Gets that base hit, longest in his career as far as hitless streak.
Top of the order for Minnesota: Dozier, Mauer, and Sano. Dozier 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls and a strike. 10 straight retired by Garrett Richards. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 hit allowed. Fouled off. Called strike 3. Down goes Dozier.
Boy, was that nasty. 89-mile-an-hour slider. I don't know where Dozier thinks that pitch was. That got a ton in the strike zone. Take a look at our Fox tracks. That's a lot of the strike zone.
I think that's more on him than anything else.
Maybe he's saying, wow, that was pretty good.
Strikeout number 5. Bauer looks at strike one. Yes, he did. Looked like he did. Oh, 2. Downstairs.
97-mile-an-hour fastball. Tried to cut it a little bit below the strike zone.
Bauer struck out looking in the first, grounded out in the third. Chopper to short. 2 down. You can follow the Angels the rest of the season with MLB.com at bat. #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today.
Nice play by Eric. That's a tough in-between hop. Charge that one. Throws out Mauer.
Miguel Sano, the DH, 0 for 1 with a walk and a bouncer back to the mound.
.89-mile-an-hour slider. Slider has been sharp tonight. 89 to 91 range.
On the corner, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Iannetta will apply the tag, and another 1-2-3 inning for Garrett. 13 straight retired by the righty. 3-0 Halos as we head to the 7th. As it involves the Angels, Oakland and Houston still tied at 3 at the top of the 5th inning. Texas leading Seattle 3-1. That game's just now in the bottom of the 3rd. Cleveland trailing the White Sox 3-1 at the start of the day. Cleveland a game behind the Angels in that wild card race. And then you see the others. Boston came from behind to beat Toronto, even though Toronto made it interesting late. Yankees won. Here it's 3-0 Angels, top of the 7th. Pelfrey's back out on the mound. Bottom third of the order of Iannetta, Navarro, and Featherston. Chris hit by a pitch his last time up. He's 0 for 1 this afternoon, early evening. One ball, one strike. Iannetta hooks it foul.
Hyundai key for this game today for the Angels to be successful in game 2 of this split day-night doubleheader. Mr. Roboto got to go like a machine today. They bunched together 4 hits last inning to score 3 runs. Talk about some solid defense. Put a check mark on that. And then solid pitching from Richards so far.
Chris hammers one out to deep left field. 4-0 Angels. Chris Iannetta with his 10th home run of the season.
Now you can sing the song for me, Victor, with that shot.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yes, indeed. Great numbers against Pelfrey. Now a second home run, 7 for 15. Big run there, add-on run for Chris Iannetta and the Angels.
Paul Molitor's coming out. That's going to be it for Pelfrey as we see the home run swing again.
Yeah, that sinker that didn't sink stayed up in the strike zone and well out of the ballpark. 2 big home runs in this series for Iannetta against the Twins.
Pelfrey is done. Gives up 4 runs. Leadoff home run to start the 7th. Nobody out. The pitching change with the Angels leading at 4-0.
On a mission to save you money. Log on to cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Mike Pelfrey done after 6 innings plus 1 batter, 9 hits, including the home run to Chris Iannetta. 1 strikeout, no walks, 4 runs. all 4 charged. The big right-hander who threw 93 pitches. Hits are in and out. Who's in, who's out. Neil Koch comes into the ballgame. The veteran facing Efrain Navarro. Koch did not pitch last night, but did pitch in Thursday's game. Went 1 inning, gave up a run on 2 hits. Gave up a home run in that one.
Yeah, fastballs 88 to 93 range. Cut fastball and slider.
Efrain gets jammed, fouls it off. No balls, 2 strikes. Navarro 1 for 2 with a single and a double play ball. Down and away. Oakland has struck for 2 runs in the top of the 5th inning, still batting. The A's leading the Astros 5-3. A loss by Houston there, and a win in this nightcap tonight by the Angels. And the Halos would be a half game back of the Astros for that second wild card spot. Navarro went around, 1 away.
That big 3-game series coming up with the Astros starting on Monday after a day game here tomorrow. Good swing by Chris after getting hit on the wrist. He had bat before.
Taylor 0 for 2. A fielder's choice and a ground ball to third. Evens account at 1-1. Neil Koch now 35 years of age as Garrett looks on. He's done a heck of a job. He's settled down. Retired 13 straight. This one foul back. 1-2. Koch originally a 2nd round pick by the A's back in 2001 at Illinois State. Out of baseball between 2010 and 2012, signed essentially a minor league deal with Texas, and he had a breakout year that year. 58 games, a 1.11 ERA out of the pen. Featherson pops this one up behind the plate. I'm going to give it a look. There's not a whole lot of room here at Target Field between home plate and the backstop. The count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's why there's always a play or 2 on a potential wild pitch. With this limestone, the baseball gets back quickly to the catcher.
Ibar on deck. He's the leadoff man. Called strike 3, 2 outs. Ibar 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run scored. (6-3) Athletics now in the 5th. And he's still batting. Oh, 2 count. Texas leading Seattle 3-1. Game at the top of the 4th inning.
We were having a little fun with Mike Trout there on the bench. Some smiles. This point on the bench.
Keeps his at-bat alive. Ground ball to the right side. That'll sneak through. A 3-hit game for Eric Ivar.
Eric's had some well-placed base hits today.
Yes. They haven't been smoked, but they've been perfectly positioned. Cole will come up now. Cole 1 for 3 with a base hit. Fouls this one back. Ball lands in the hands of an Angel fan.
Yeah, the Howie Kendrick shirt on.
Yeah, he's pumped.
Dark pass by Howie tonight. On the all-time hit list for the Angels. With his 3-hit performance.
Angels with 3 runs in the 6th inning. Chris Iannetta with a leadoff home run here in the 7th to make it 4-0. He's just looking for more. One ball, one strike. Down and away. Trout on deck. 10 hits for the Angels tonight. Eight singles, a double, and a home run. Big double by Albert with 2 outs.
Especially after Trout lined out the short on the first pitch from Pelfrey. Thought he might be able to get through that inning. Instead, end up giving up 3 runs in that inning.
Albert retakes the team lead in RBIs with those 2 RBIs. 85 to Trout's 84. Ivar takes off. 2-1. A strike to throw down a second out of time. So Eric picks up his 13th stolen base. And Cole with a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Going on first movement. Big jump. Slides in there easily with a stolen base. Now in scoring position for Cole. The Angels have been stealing some bases here in this series.
They've been saving it up all season. Legs should be fresh.
Waiting for the right time.
Yeah. Two from Kotz. Cole chases up around his neck, and that'll do it for the Angels here in the 7th. Stretch time. Chris Iannetta adds a little insurance with his 10th of the year. Angels now up 4-0.
Boy, that sinker was crushed. See how he brings his hands inside, barrel the bat out of the ballpark for Iannetta.
He's scheduled to face Plouffe, Hunter, and Rosario. He has allowed one hit. That was a single to Rosario back in the second inning. 76 pitches, 6 punch outs, and 2 walks. Trevor Plouffe 0 for 2. And he hammers one out to left. Just like that, the Twins are on the board. It's 4-1 Angels. 21st of the year for Trevor Plouffe.
Very similar, jumping on the first pitch against Richards at home. That's a second home run in his career for Plouffe against Richards. Fastball just kind of ran back. It's supposed to be a cut fastball away, inner half and elevated.
So it's 4-1, and here's Torrey Hunter. Swinging first pitch, grounds one over to Eric Ibar.
That's big right there. The bounce back, get a quick out on one pitch. Got to shake that off. You're still up by 3 runs, trying to establish yourself as an ace of the staff. It's the moments where their teammates are looking and rallying behind you to finish off this inning now.
Rosario takes just low. Single and a fly ball left, so he's 1 for 2. Home run by Plouffe, snapping a string of 13 consecutive batters retired by Garrett. Pitches, 49 of it strikes. Little dribbler foul. Hayes in the right field corner. One of the concession stands, it seems like. Did you put in an order for burgers or something?
Yeah.
You did it.
Yes, I have.
1-2. Down goes Rosario, 2 outs.
Good curveball, backdoor curveball from Richards. See that finger off the baseball when you see that from Richards, you know he's throwing his curveball. That one at 81 miles an hour. 81 pitches thrown, 22 in the first, but since that point, very solid for Richards. Now with 2 outs in the 7th. Exactly what Mike Scioscia, Mike Butcher wanted from Richards tonight.
Eduardo Nunez 0 for 1 with a sac bunt. Breaks his bat, hits a one-hopper to Eric Ibar. Nice shot by Garrett. Gives up the leadoff home run, then retires the next 3. 7th complete. Halos up 4-1.
for the Angels, leading the Twins 4-1, heading to the top of the 8th. And Mike Trout is coming up. I'm Patrick O'Neill. I've got these kids that promised they would not make any faces during my on-camera time here. I hope you stick around for our Angels Live postgame show. Jose Mota will join me. Hopefully it's an Angels victory. He'll have a walk-off interview. I'll have a backup interview. Great to see Chris Iannetta doing some twin killing. Albert Pujols breaking out of a slump. And, of course, Victor and Mark. Garrett Richards, a big story so far tonight.
Oh, no doubt, Patrick. You should see the faces those kids were making behind you, too. They crushed you.
Just to see the faces we're making about Patrick up here in the booth. Just kidding, Patrick.
Mike Trout to lead things off for the Angels here in the 8th, 4-1. Halos on top. Phil Hughes, 10-9 and a 4.58 ERA. 24 starts this year. 7th relief appearance last 6 years. Kotz ended up working 1 inning. 3 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed. First one's outside. Trout, Pujols, and Murphy for the Angels here in the 8th. Hughes now in his 2nd season with Minnesota. 16-game winner last year. Trout fouls it back. Good rip at that fastball. 1-2.
Kind of surprised to see Hughes. And he's had a little bit of a back issue, but it's a big part of their future as far as in that starting rotation.
Breaking pitch fouled off. Brought to Foothill High School. Yankees first round pick in 04. Another big cat, 6'5".
Yeah, you don't want to get into a basketball game with these Minnesota Twins pitchers.
Tired team. There's a lot of big boys. Sano, Vargas. Then you got that staff.
Joe Mauer's 6'5" himself.
Trout takes upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mike 0 for 3. Ground down twice. And lined one. Right to the shortstop. Nunez in the 6th. That is hit high and deep to left center field. Byron Buxton back at the wall. Gone. A big fly for Mike Trout. 39th of the year. And the Angels get that run back. It's 5-1.
That ball was covered by Trout. A long, long way getting that run back. You mentioned it. Plouffe solo shot himself. Went to an indoor cut fastball, but it drifted out over the plate. Hughes knew it. Trying to resist and seeing how far that baseball would go.
Albert lets it fly.
Now tying on the all-time list as far as seasons for home runs with Vlad Guerrero and Reggie Jackson, all with 39.
Skied on the third base side and toward the seats. For Hughes, it's the 29th home run that he's allowed this year.
It's an awful lot, especially pitching in this ballpark. Now, if it was the Metrodome, that's a different story.
No smoking in the Metrodome.
No. And no fly balls called either.
No.
Get lost in the roof.
Especially day games. That light colored roof. Albert 2 for 3. Single and a 2 RBI double. The single snapped it 0 for 25. That was in the 4th inning. The double with 2 outs gave the Angels a 2-0 lead. This one out to left. 1 out.
So really the big hit in this game was Pujols' double. After Trout lined out,
Trout with a home run. That's 2 swings in a row. Solid swings for Trout.
6th home run in the month of September. Had 1 in August. Multi-homer game Thursday night. As Murphy steps in, he's 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Popped up. Plouffe into foul territory. 2 down.
Richards has been very good tonight. 7 innings, there's 2 hits allowed, 1 run, that solo home run. Trevor Plouffe.
Freese looks at his strike. A single in the 2nd inning for him. He's 1 for 3. Texas, by the way, still batting in the 4th inning. They lead Seattle 5-1. Oakland still leading Houston 6-3 at the top of the 6th. Here it is, 5-1. Trout with his 39th home run. Now ties Albert for the team lead in RBIs.
It's nice when they go back and forth like that with RBIs.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Minnesota in the bottom of the 8th has 8, 9, and 1 due up. Herman, Buxton, and Dozier. Called strike 3, and the Angels are done here in the 8th. They do get a run on the Trout blast. 39th of the year, Gooby. Well, they get 5-1.
That baseball was crushed. Tried that cut fastball, made a mistake with that pitch. Trout hit that a long, long way to left center field. 39 on the season.
Richards back out of the mound to face 8, 9, and 1 for the Twins. New left fielders Colin Cowgill, new third baseman Caleb Coward. So David Murphy and David Freese, the 2 Davids, done for the night. Seven punch outs for Garrett Richards. 2 hits, 2 walks. Danny Santana pinch hitting for Chris Herman. And Suzuki will more than likely take over behind the plate. Caught all 12 innings in game 1. Bouncer to the right side. Navarro gloves it. Takes it himself. 1 down. As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet us your strongest fan photo to hashtag WestDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. And it's brought to you by T-Mobile.
That's a cool picture.
Aaron Hicks is going to pinch hit for Byron Buxton. Hicks in game 1 went 0 for 5. 258 batting average. Takes upstairs.
Boy, completely under control tonight with his slider. It's been very, very good for Richards. Butcher has to feel real good about his poise and under control as far as his mechanics, repeating his pitches.
Went around 1-2. And it wasn't the case early on either, Gooby. You go through the first 2 innings. And more specifically, the second inning. He issued a 2-out walk in the first, but the second inning, a little bit all over the place, trying to overthrow a lot of his pitches, but he's really calmed things down.
Really slowed it down. Right there, you can see over the pitching rubber.
Little bouncer back toward the mound. Garrett has it, gets rid of it quickly, and 2 down. Nice job.
Under control again. That good athletic fielding position, throwing the ball like an infielder would do. And he'll smile about, hey, I made some plays today. Off the plate, gets to that baseball, and then stays in that athletic throwing position to make another play. It's 4 plays by Richards tonight, fielding his position.
Dozier 0 for 3. Tomorrow afternoon have Matt Shoemaker coming back and rejoining the rotation. Tyler Duffy on the mound for Minnesota. 2-0 count.
That was pretty odd, throwing a 2-0 slider there for Richards. Even though he's had great command of that pitch, he's also had a very good fastball. Up by 4 late, you don't want to give some gift runners.
And a 4-pitch walk after retiring the first 2 rather easily. Saw how quickly that the Twins can get back into a game. In game 1. Mauer 0 for 3, a strikeout, a couple of groundouts. Dozier with 11 stolen bases, been caught 4 times. Takes a strike.
He's trying to get a very good hitter out in Joe Mauer, especially with Miguel Sano on deck. And always the key when you're thinking about the possibility of finishing off a game, winning a game, giving that bullpen a rest. A lot of innings out of the bullpen for quite some time. You can't look ahead. You always got to just be thinking about that hitter right in front of you.
One down low. 2 balls and a strike. No action in the Angels' pen. 2 quick outs and a 4-pitch walk to Dozier. Overthrown and over the backstop. Wild pitch advances Dozier to second. And a 3-1 count.
And muscling up. Much as we talked about being under control with his slider, all of a sudden he's forcing it. See how quick he tried to come through in his delivery on that pitch. Gonna have a quick visit now from Mike Butcher.
Now in jeopardy of not being able to go out and finish a game. This inning continues. No action in the pen.
97 pitches thrown for Garrett, 22 in the first 14. A number of them overthrown, even though it's going well early on. 2 quick outs, 2 ground ball outs.
On the corner, full count.
Paints the outside corner with this 3-1 fastball. Might as well try that again, and you got to be ready out in left field if you're Coward at third also.
Sano on deck. Here comes the payoff pitch. Bauer draws the walk. Back-to-back walks now issued by Garrett with 2 very quick outs to start this 8th inning. So 2 on, 2 outs. Sano coming to the plate. We were talking about the walks for Richards. His last 3 starts, a total of 12 of them under control, and all of a sudden now he's got 4 tonight.
He's got 12 ground ball outs so far in the game. He'd like to get 1 more here.
So now lines one to left, a base hit. Calgill up with it. Hit so hard that base runners can only advance 1 base, and still no action in the Angels bullpen. And Trevor Plouffe, who homered off of Richards to lead off the 7th, will come to the plate with the bases loaded.
And here another line drive. This kid can hit.
Not quite sure why it's taken so long to get action going in the Angels' pen. The command has left Richards. Clearly did on the 4-pitch walk to Dozier with 2 outs. Tampa Drojan has to hurry now. Plouffe jumped on that first pitch in the 7th inning, homering. 21st of the year, now a 10-game hitting streak. He's 1 for 3 tonight. The first one's a breaking ball for a strike. Cut fastball, caught the inside corner. Might have been the slider at 90.
He's been overthrown. That's what you don't want to see, is an overthrown slider. Fluke hit one out against him in Anaheim.
Yeah, exactly. 0-1 pitch. Bouncer toward the middle. Ibar to his left has it. Gives it to Featherston to get the out.
What a play.
And Garrett Richards gets out of it.
Well, that one big ground ball, you need it more. What a play by Ibar. And nice job by Featherston being there. The flip and the bare hand and the out to finish off the inning.
Terrific play by Eric Ibar to get that ground ball hit by Trevor Plouffe. Getting it to Featherston as quickly as possible. Get that third out.
Flip with the glove and then caught with the bare hand. Just the opposite way you normally would do it. But no time to do anything different.
Twins leaving them loaded. Neda, Navarro, and Featherston. Aaron Hicks stays in the game. He's in center. Eric Fryer is the new catcher. Chris shoots one out to right field. Torrey back a couple of steps. Wow.
And now it's time for the top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco with the bases loaded. Game on the line. An outstanding play by Eric Ibar. Fields with the glove, flips the glove, and then caught barehanded on the force out by Featherston as Richards gets through that inning. No damage done.
Over to short. 2 outs. Featherston 0 for 3. Phil Hughes, second inning of relief. Pelfrey went 6 innings. Gave up 4 runs on 9 hits, including the home run to Chris Iannetta. Neil Counts went 1, and now Hughes wrapping up his second. Doesn't appear to be anybody warming up in the Angels pen. Featherson gets jammed, hits a one-hopper to Dozier. We will head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Hunter, Rosario, Nunez coming up for the Twins with the Angels leading at 5-1. Those 5-1 Halos. 3 hits allowed for Garrett, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, 102 pitches. Had a complete game earlier this year, and that was against the Boston Red Sox. Complete game shutout, 2 hits in that one with 6 punch outs, 1 walk. Torrey Hunter with a walk, a strikeout, and a ground out. 0 for 2. One ball, 1 strike. Houston has struck for a couple of runs at the bottom of the 6th inning. He's still up 6-5, but Houston still batting. One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, he has stayed inside on Torrey in this game. That fastball at 97, so good velocity still going for Richards.
Back inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Torrey lines one to center to get down for a leadoff single.
Out over the plate. He's been trying to pitch. Torrey in. His arms extended. Line drive to center field.
And a Rosario at the plate. He's 1 for 3. Houston Street starting to play catch. Navarro playing behind Torrey at first base.
Yeah, it's something you have to have that quick communication. They'll know you're going to be behind him.
1 ball, 1 strike. Two and one.
Over that last inning and a half for Garrett getting around on some of his sliders early in that game, especially when he went through that stretch in which he retired. Was it 12-13 in a row? He was on top of that slider very good.
Foul at the plate. Two. Rosario bounces this one to first. Efren will take it himself. 1 out. Torrey advances to second.
Another ground ball out. Make it now 14 in the game for Richards. Talked about as far as a go-to is how well he has done as far as getting baseballs hit on the ground. 3rd highest percentage in the American League behind Dallas Keuchel, and Felix Hernandez has been very good tonight.
112 pitches for Garrett. 2nd highest total this year. At Cleveland on August 29th for 117 pitches. Most he's ever thrown in a game, 122, and that was against the Dodgers in August of last year.
With the off day on Thursday, an extra day rest anyhow.
Nunez a little bit late on the fastball, fouls it off. It's an 0-1 count. Twin shortstop 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. On the inside corner. Nunez doesn't like the call.
Gets the inside part of the plate.
Worked out of a bases loaded situation. He kind of put himself in the 8th inning. He's got Hunter at second. 1 out. Nunez with a dribbler foul. Nunez, a one-time Yankees farmhand, minor league player of the year 2010. 0-2. Ground ball to the right side. Featherston goes into a dive, can't come up with it. Torrey gets stopped at third. That ball went underneath the glove of Featherston.
I think it was more of the angle too. .97-mile-an-hour fastball.
So this would have been Eric Fryer's spot in the order. Kenny Vargas is going to come up and pinch hit for him. Vargas pinch hit in the 12th inning of game 1 and struck out against Houston Street. Navarro playing behind Nunez, who takes off down. That pitch is down and in. Second and third now. Next pitch will be the 120th. Houston's ready to go if necessary. Foul back. Aaron Hicks on deck. He faced Richards in the 8th inning. Richards got it in a little tapper back to the mound. One-two to Vargas. Breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a curveball. They're throwing a lot of sliders to him.
Pujols with a 2-hit game. 2 RBI double in the 6th inning gave the Angels a 2-0 lead. Murphy with an RBI single. Ionetta and Trout with solo home runs. 2-2 now to the big man. Full count.
Is tied a career high as far as pitches in a game.
Big batter here. Payoff all the way. Ground ball over to first. Navarro's got it. He'll take the out. Torrey scores. It's 5-2. 2 outs now.
Huge out. Another ground ball out.
Nunez ends up at third. Credit Vargas with an RBI. Here comes Mike Scioscia. With 2 outs. Aaron Hicks coming up. Takes the ball from Garrett. Pitching change in the 9th. 5-2 Angels. Strikeouts, 4 walks. Mike Scioscia, after letting him get the second out, doesn't allow him to stay beyond 122 pitches. So he calls on Houston Street, who pitched in game 1. Houston ended up picking up the save, his 37th of the year. Leads the American League in saves. He'll face Aaron Hicks.
What a job tonight, though, by Richards. Keeping those innings that they needed so bad from a starter, and not only innings, but dominating innings from Richards tonight.
Hicks 0 for 1 tonight. Takes outside. Aaron did not face Street in game 1. He's facing the bottom part of the order. Good changeup. No Joe Smith in game 1, no Joe Smith in game 2. 1-1 pitch. This one's out to center, should do it. Trout is there. Light that baby up for the second time today. The Angels pick up a victory. They sweep the doubleheader, 5-2 the final tonight.
What an effort all the way around by the Angels in this game, and Garrett Richards set the tone. Now career high 14 W's on the season, 8 2/3. Albert Pujols breaks out of his slump, a single and a big 2-out 2-run double. Mike Trout solo shot. Chris Iannetta home run. Also 11 hits. Day-night doubleheader sweep for the Halos.